Welcome back to Method Cooking. Don't mind the 50-pound bag of onions on the countertop because that's for an episode that you'll see next. Today we're talking about knives. Most people have a block or a drawer full of them, maybe not totally understanding what each one is best suited for. So we're going to go over probably a half dozen of the knives you probably got at home and look at them so that you can be safer and more efficient in the kitchen. We're going to start with a paring knife. Smaller blade, normally 1.5 inches to 2.5 inches in size. It's really good for cutting small items like strawberries or mushrooms, and it's especially good at getting kids involved in the kitchen. The smaller knife makes it easier for them to handle and is a good kind of starting point on how they can hold a knife and cut things without cutting their finger. Onto the steak knife or serrated blade. Really good for steak or cutting up different proteins, but also really good if you're cutting bread or fresh tomatoes that are so soft that unless you have an extremely sharp blade or knife, other than this one, will cut through nice and easily and give you an easy cut. The utility knife, as the name implies, it's just kind of a good overall knife, whether it's little prep that you've got to do, cutting, dicing, slicing. This blade is just kind of an all-around go-to, especially if you don't have to do a lot. Next is the Nikiri blade. Definitely more of a unique or specialty knife that most people won't have, but if you do, or if you want to pick one up, it's really good if you're cutting vegetables and need everything to be the same size and shape. The squared off layout of the blade makes it really easy to make perfect cuts that are perpendicular, so if you're looking for like a fine dice or a brunoise, as it were, this would be the knife I'd recommend. Onto the chef's knife, the workhorse of the kitchen. This knife is definitely an all-around good knife, especially if you need to do like a rocking motion, almost like a locomotive on a train, whether it's herbs, vegetables, chopping up potatoes, onions. Really just an all-around good knife. Definitely something you want to keep on hand and keep sharp. Last up for today is the carving or the slicing knife. Longer blade, kind of a beveled instead of a classical like serrated appearance and cut to it. This is really good for roasts, turkeys, whole chickens, but it's also really good for cantaloupes and watermelons just with the size of it. Instead of using a smaller knife, you kind of have to like make your way around the outside. Using the longer blade will get you one smooth cut all the way through. So that was knives in a nutshell. Any questions, feel free to comment or shoot me an email. Make sure you like, share, love, follow, and absolutely adore methodcooking.com and the YouTube channel.